Dunn goes. Pitch called a strike. Throw down. He is out. Reds are going to challenge. But I think the question.
He just threw Colin Cowgill out of the ballgame.
Oh, Francona might get run here too. And he's going right back after Alex McKay, second base umpire. Protracted talk here between Francona and crew chief, third base umpire Alan Porter.
What Alan Porter was saying is
just clips for a strike. More barking from the Cardinal dugout. And Marmol's been ejected. He hurdles the railing and comes out to get his money's worth. He was the most animated.
And Albies takes 4 straight balls to load the bases. Ollie just got thrown out of the game by Mark Carlson, arguing balls and strikes. You could read his lips. He thought ball 4 was strike 1. Maton departs, allowing the tying run. The bases remain loaded, and Oliver Marmol.
Did he offer? No, says Laz Diaz. Wow. And the Boo Birds are out for Laz Diaz. Laz has heard enough.
Well, this was Torey Lovullo during the pitching change. Cap to cap, bill to bill, and nose to nose with the crew chief, Laz Diaz. And this is as animated as we've seen the skipper in a long time. Guessing that this was about the non-strike 3 call on the Tyler O'Neill way.
That one a little lower.
Yeah, even if your pitcher's up, that one was way out of the zone. And here comes Will, and I think he was given the boot.
Or maybe it was Marcus Timms, because Marcus Timms and someone else has now been ejected.
I think both. Yeah, Will was thrown out. No, I think they've both been thrown out.
And another at-bat ends in a strikeout. And Laureano has just been ejected from the game for slamming down his helmet. James Hoyt tossed him. Brandon Hyde will come out after Ramon has said his piece, but the bat throw and then the helmet spike is going to get you.
That call on Herrera, a break for the Diamondbacks. As Herrera's out on strikes, here's Burleson. Your team offensively is really fun to watch, and it looks like someone's been thrown out.
Hey, Ollie Marmol just got.
Eric. I don't think Eric said anything.
Now Ollie just got tossed out. Rob Colpa, we talked about, he's from St. Louis.
Well, it's a good thing that Eric wasn't sitting next to Ollie, because we may have heard something that we probably would have regretted. And he's getting his money's worth here.
Eric, does that fire you up when you see a manager get into it?
Blanco goes on first movement, and Ray throws over, and Blanco is going to be out. Matt Quatrero might be arguing, and he just got ejected by second base umpire Jordan Baker, and he might be arguing blocking second base. This is not a reviewable play, because locking the bases cannot, because it falls under the umbrella of obstruction. So this is the best that Q can do.
And right there he does the same. That's called strike 3. It was below the zone. Here comes A.J. Hinch to try and help his player, and they're gonna, you know, A.J. was a step away from getting out there, and Phil Cuzzy runs Javi Baez, and A.J. is trying to block Javi because he is incensed. Joey Cora's out there as well. Javi Baez is incensed. I don't know what was said, but Javi is livid. A.J. Hinch was one step away from the plate when Phil Cuzzy threw
on the way to Crawford. It is strike 3 called on the outside corner, and JP not happy at all with home plate umpire Andy Fletcher, and Crawford has just been thrown out of the ball game. JP Crawford is red hot. He's not giving up the conversation. Here comes Dan Wilson, and JP called out on strikes by Andy Fletcher, and there's one away for the Mariners here in the bottom of the seat.
Strike 3. Soderstrom not happy. He's going to turn around and have that conversation with Tom Hanahan, and he's now tossed out of the game. Mark Kotze out of the dugout now. take over where Soderstrom left off.
And I think the fact that Tom Hanahan is even entertaining the conversation for Mark Kotsay kind of lets you know that, hey, he probably has a feel that it's been bouncing around, and he said that that's down. That's twice.
The fifth inning is presented by Audi. Now, Brian Snitker came out during the inning to talk to Gabe Morales at length about the balls and strikes. And Brian Snitker was ejected. It was a quiet ejection, but he was tossed, and this is the straw that broke the camel's back.
So it's a borderline pitch, pretty close, but based on what we have seen, that needs to be called a strike this afternoon. Right? The comparison again to what we showed you with Marcel compared to this one. And Drake does a really nice job in the conversation.
Welcome back here, bottom of the sixth, all knotted up. I'm going to show you what happened here with JP Sears and Gabe Morales. JP, who's this on? Well, looks like he feels like all of it is on Gabe Morales, and you can understand why the frustration for JP. I mean, he just watched his teammate come in and execute, get a job done with the fastball, not get the credit for it, and that snowball we talked about.
What you don't want to do is the guy go up there and swing at a pitch out of the zone. Now we got some issues. Justin Kelly not happy with the Lance Barrett strike zone here this afternoon. Looks like DK's been run.
Assuming it was on the first strike call to Lopez.
And now time as Woods Richardson was beginning his motion. And what do we have? A pitch time violation on Woods Richardson. That's going to be ball 4. And Rocco will leave the dugout. And Vasquez, he's in the face of Nick Lentz. Rocco's in there as well. And I don't think Rocco's going to be long for this game. But a pitch time violation called on Woods Richardson, and that leads to ball 4 and puts India on.
Yeah, for CJ, he's, I mean, already struck out twice.
Timeout. This is your warning. Anything else, you're going.
Okay, well, we can throw you out too.
Oh, there we go. Somebody just got run from the Nationals dugout. Looks like Chris Johnson. That was terrible. Is maybe a FCC safe version of what CJ just said.
Yeah, someone got defensive for being bad. It's okay, Lance.
Strike 3. That one looked outside. Maybe it's a makeup call, and Chisholm's down on strikes. There's no such thing about that. You missed the call, you don't make up for it, and there he goes. Well, you can't argue balls and strikes, and he was teetering on that edge, and Boone was trying to break it up, but Bacon had enough. Now, he might get fined, too, because he just tossed the helmet lightly, but he tossed the helmet toward home plate.
Gets the call. Low fastball against Dominguez. There's strike 3.
Well, Wagner behind the plate has been really inconsistent.
And Aaron Boone's been ejected. The Knights' frustration's probably built up on both sides.
Well, I can understand Aaron Boone being frustrated with that call. That was down. Wagner's missed a lot of calls tonight.
Boone emptying out the back. Dominguez called out on strikes, 2 away. Here are the Knights.
Thompson yelling at both Stu Sherwater and Jordan Baker. I think they might have called a disengagement. What is going on here? Well, we've got 35,129 that would like to know what's going on as well. And he's got the hand and he's been ejected. Ryan Thompson was turning around and saying something to Dan Merzel, the second base umpire, who may have initiated all that mishegas before. And Jordan Baker screamed at the Diamondback pitcher, let it go. And that's when the dugout had to get involved.
Webb just off the outside corner. 1-1.
That was close. Could have been called a strike. There we go.
Yep, there goes. Bochy's just been tossed. And he'll come out to make sure that Torres heard exactly what he was trying to communicate. Carlos Torres, our plate umpire. Here comes the future Hall of Fame manager. Yankees fans trying to get involved in the conversation themselves. But Boch, this has been a long time coming. He was a little hot the other day in that Houston series, but
here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Andujar's just been ejected. And he is gone from this game, and the A's are gone in the 8th for the second start in a row. A's do not score, will go to the 8th. It's 3-3.
Man, close. Called a ball. You saw Bailey, and now the Giants are barking.
That's it. That's it. You know what? Done.
Oh, here we go. Bob Melvin just got kicked out of the game.
This is exactly what he needs to let him know. You know, you're going to call him on us. You got to call him both ways. You can't just be ringing our guys up and sticking up for the guys. It matters. And Bob is feeling it. You can tell this is real. This is no act. This is coming from the heart.
Ooh.
Let him know.
Runner goes. They've got him. Tell you what, he was hustling up to the second base bag. Durbin, I think, felt like he got his hand in there on the swim move.
And I think they just called a balk.
Oh,
and
did they really?
It was the third base umpire called a balk, I believe.
Yeah, Luzardo's not happy about it. They're saying that his foot crossed his leg, which means he has to then go to the plate instead of dropping down and going to first.
Now, the first base umpire has a much, much better look at that than the third base umpire. And how he calls it is the reason why right now that Rob Thompson's really angry.
Oh, see, I think the third base umpire thought that he crossed his leg.
Well, that's exactly.
And come up with a hit. He is 1 for 4 against him.
Boy, he doesn't like that call right there. First pitch changeup that looked to be down below the zone. And Taylor's telling him, he said, Nick, that ball is down. That ball is down.
And now, after not liking that first call, and boy, he is hot.
Oh, yeah. Or did he get thrown out too?
I think he got thrown out.
He's out now for sure.
Yeah.
Because he said, he turned to him and said that ball was down. And did he get assessed another strike or because he had called time? He had called time. Well, they got to get Taylor into the dugout right now.
To know your outfield arm.
That's a call third strike.
Well, he just ran Nico.
Nico Horner gets tossed.
This is an inexperienced umpire back there.
No.
Derek Thomas, and we never see Nico beef at the umpires. No, Craig is going to get his money's worth.
Check swing, did he go? He did. Ryan Blakeney said Seager went around. And Alexander escapes danger, and we're going to the 11th. Bruce Bochy's not happy about it, but we've got more baseball here at Arlington.
Boch didn't like it, and he's not going to watch any more of the game from the dugout.
All that you need, and Savali needs to keep pitching. He's going to be a free agent at the end of this year, and it looks like Venable's gone.
Will Venable is hot early on. He is giving it to Marvin Hudson. Hudson has blown numerous calls already to start this game, and Will Venable is sticking up for his pitcher.
Well, happy Father's Day to you. I think that was what was said.
The call on the field stands. Foul ball. New York will lose the challenge.
Aaron Boone not too thrilled, and he gets thrown out after throwing gum toward the field. He gets thrown out by the home plate umpire, John Tumpane.
Yeah, I think Aaron thought it hit the line from the review they saw.
This shocks you because DJ LeMahieu does not have much to say on the field, and Jeremy Rehak didn't like what he said and threw him out immediately.
Jason Dominguez here. 1 ball, 1 strike. And home plate umpire Bruce Streckman is having a word or two with Aaron Boone. That's James Rowson. I don't know. Did you see the?
Yeah, he did. He's a lefty. He threw him out lefty.
Yeah, he did.
First offering, tapped. Oh, that had weird spin. Kelly safe at first. Wow. It's the 6th straight inning they've gotten a leadoff man on. That's just a bad break for the Cubs.
Craig Counsell out to argue perhaps that he thought Kemp was running it in fair territory. Remember, they amended that rule. You do not have to run in the lane as long as you're on the dirt. Craig has just been ejected for the second day in a row.
So Craig Counsell has been ejected.
The order, and here's Xavier Edwards.
Let's see if Edwards can maybe drop one down that third base line.
Shows Button, he pushes it back towards the mound. Littell is on it, and he throws it to first, and it gets down the right field line. No throw to the plate. That'll plate a run. Aranda's on his rear end at first, and Xavier Edwards walking back to the bag. And I think they may have called interference on Xavier Edwards, and the run's not going to score. What happened here, Nelly?
Well, I don't know, unless he ran in the grass to try to alter the throw. Now, we did see that one time at home when Edwards tried to score. He was about 3 feet in that grass. Now, the first base umpire is Ben May over there. This is a judgment call. This is not reviewable. So Clayton McCullough and the Marlins cannot review this play. This is a judge.
Low. Oh, and they called that strike 3. It was low, and Jordan Baker missed it, and Ryan Jeffers has been thrown out. Rocco Baldelli out for a conversation, but that was low.
Brutal.
And Jeffers ejected. That's rare for the Twins catcher.
Rightfully so. That ball's never in the strike zone. And the zone has been tight, low all night. Pitches in the zone have been called low. And that ball, not a strike. It's a good at-bat by Ryan Jeffers, taken away.
Uh-oh, we have an argument. Carlos Correa is screaming at Austin Jones. Rocco Baldelli is fired up, and he gets ejected.
He threw out Correa?
He did. Carlos Correa was ejected from the on-deck circle. That was a borderline pitch. Austin Jones calls time on behalf of the batter, and then Correa has a word with Jones, who immediately throws him out. What are you doing, says Rocco Baldelli, with a couple words in
High
between.
probability this is going to be a fastball. You certainly don't want to sell out completely. Oh, no.
That was ball 4. That could decide the game. And Donnie Kelly is going to give it to Edwin Jimenez. And that's when Donnie Kelly got ejected for a 3rd time in his first month managing the Pirates.
That last half inning just ended with a pitch well below the zone. Young called out on strikes. That was just so frustrating with a team that has struggled here. And then Will Little, hearing it from the Rangers bench, ejected somebody. We'll have to see who that was. That said, Will Little today, for the most part, we really haven't noticed him, right? I mean, it's not like he's had a lot of controversial calls back there. By and large, been pretty good. Just a couple of really obvious misses here late.
Bottom of the zone, strike 3.
Everything up to the final pitch.
And McLean is not happy. Terry Francona trying to back up his player, now coming out of the dugout. And the low strike has been so hard all game. Hunter Green got burned on it. And it looks like he's tossed somebody. And Terry Francona has been tossed. Is that Nick Martinez? It looked like that had come off the rail.
Well, the bottom of the strike zone has been non-existent here tonight.
Is that a strike? Most days, yes. Yeah. But most of the game, it hadn't been.
It has not been.
What's a strike in the first should be a strike in the 9th, and everything in between.
With Marsh and Castellanos in center and right. Saw Marsh's arm on full display last night. And I think there might have been a little finger pointing there.
Oh, yeah.
And Mark felt disrespected. And he's going to head to the clubhouse.
Follow, right? That's a strike. And it's about.
Yep. And he said, don't point your finger at me. With a bit of a standing ovation in the left field foul seats. You know, he's worked tirelessly night in and night out to try and get a win for the Athletics. He pushed all of the right buttons last night, and still the A's came up short. Tensions were boiling, emotions were high, and this was the moment where he got ejected.
Strike 3 call. Calroni's single is stranded. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Just moments ago, Dan Wilson coming out, talking with Laz Diaz after the strikeout to Randy Arozarena, and something that has never happened in the baseball career of Dan Wilson as a player or in his short early career as a manager. Dan Wilson has been ejected from this game.
Lindor with the theft gets into scoring position. And the count 2-0 on Soto. Buehler getting after it with Estabrook, the home plate umpire. Narvaez out there to push it back, and he's thrown him out of the game. Estabrook has run the Red Sox starter. Walker Buehler has been thrown out. And Cora out now.
The problem is that pitcher, Estabrook called it a ball. It was right down the middle. I mentioned Narvaez kind of stands up, you know, to make a better throw, but Estabrook can't see it. That ball's right down the middle. I didn't realize he called it a ball. He did. Buehler had a problem with it, but I'll say this. Walker, I know he's emotional. He's a veteran. He's been around. You can't get thrown out here in this 3rd inning.
Cora has been run too. And he fired up Alex Cora.
That hit the bat? I guess it did hit the bat. Or did it hit? What did it hit? A swinging strikeout. So it hit the batter, but the batter was considered to have swung the bat.
Right. Well, and I think that Diaz is saying, look, it hit the butt end of my bat.
So they're going to explain it to Kevin before they let everybody else know, and the fact that there's likely going to be a review. He said the first base umpire ruled that he went with a swing. A lengthy argument for Kevin Cash. And Ucetta's walking back onto the field. And Kevin's thrown out for the first time this season. First ejection of the year for Rays manager Kevin Cash. And that's as hot as you'll see Kevin get.
Might as well get your money's worth.
Well, I can't think it's too many times that he has been this fired up.
No.
In 11 years.
No, he's living.
And he's not done yet. He's coming back onto the field. And Jim Wolf is coming to meet him, and Rodney's trying to protect him. You know, there are managers out there that routinely do this. Kevin does not routinely do this. This is a.
What do you know? He took a pitch. And liner.
Wow, that's a low zone.
Well,
right.
so yeah, I think at this point, we just got our first ejection.
Got him.
Now I've had this sense the last couple of days that Joe Espada was this close, as my mom used to say, and he's just finally blew. And Nick Marley said, "I've heard enough."
Yeah, the foundation was laid by the Texas Rangers disagreeing with similar calls, and now Joe Espada's asking him to clean it up.
3-2.
They got the check swing that time.
Wow. Now the bases are loaded.
I thought he swung.
Someone just got thrown out.
Yeah.
Well, Donnie Kelly, John Lipka says, you're out of this game, and that's the second time already that he's been ejected. I could read lips. He said, you go back to the clubhouse, kind sir. And that's what he'll have to do now.
I don't like that.
Down to the count 0-2 as a pinch hitter. Did he go? Yes, he did, according to DeJesus. Wow, that was close. Bob Melvin he might get tossed out here. He's running out to argue with Ramon DeJesus.
It's obviously a massive call in a tie game in the 9th inning. The leadoff batter.
Rocco Baldelli got thrown out of last night's game. Now Bob Melvin out of today's game. And you know you're having a rough series as an umpiring crew when both managers get ejected.
Ball's inside! It's inside! Ricky, stop!
Brendan Miller catching it from the Brewers dugout, and now he ejects Ricky Weeks. Ricky Weeks has seen enough.
Now this is all about the strike zone. We've been talking about it most of the day. Very tight at times, liberal at other times.
Weeks ejected.
Now a strike.
I think they're booing the sell job.
Yeah.
And that ball was almost in the middle of the plate.
Oh, and a strike called on the outside part of the plate. And Morel not happy.
I don't think Rob Drake is either.
Yep, a full count.
And Morrell is out on strikes, and he has been ejected from the game. Morrell ejected after the strikeout.
Rounded fair to third. Gino with a long throw, and Caven able to keep it in front. And Koss stumbled across the bag. He's injured and tagged out. That will end the inning, but Koss is really shaken up down there. He could not get back to the second base bag. And we have a collision around the bag. Yeah, Lawler was standing there. And Koss, I guess, didn't see him.
Fielders are prohibited from impeding or hindering a runner's path to the base while not in possession of the ball or in the act of fielding the ball. That's the definition of type 1 obstruction. Now Lawler's going over to cover the bag. He's got his back to Koss, and Koss just had nowhere to go.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but I think that's a bad on Jordan Lawler right there. You got to get out of the way. You have to realize what happens on the play. He went to the bag anticipating a force play there from Gino, but Gino instead went.
Second in the league in average sprint speed. And wow, that was called strike 3. O'Hearn will get a steal. Brandon Hyde's out. I am shocked at that one. That pitch looked like it was way below the zone, and John Bacon's telling Brandon Hyde, go back to your dugout.
And I don't know, Brandon Hyde might have gotten thrown out already, and I don't blame him for taking the heat for Westy, because you can't let Westy get thrown out of the game. But as a manager, I love to see this. He is sticking up for his guys, and Westy got hosed twice.
I don't know if they're going to push him. We'll see. Driven deep to left field. Fair ball, it's gone. It is a foul ball, just foul. A bullet down the line.
You talk about reaching out and touching someone right there. That was a swing, boy.
The call on the field is foul ball. This is a crew chief review.
Crew chief review. I hope they have an angle here to look. Tough to see from our angle. Well, as we watch this swing. Man, that ball was hit really far. And you think about it in a major league stadium. You know, the foul pole, let's see here. Oh my.
Wow.
From that angle.
And in a major league ballpark, Todd, the foul pole is much higher.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to before I saw that. I mean, that angle there, it's not straight on. But to me, I mean, that could have just wrapped around.
I'm a big proponent. Top of the foul pole.
After review, call on the field stands. It's a foul ball.
They have it. Top of the foul pole, lasers.
Lasers, yeah, something.
So easy.
I mean, from that angle there, it's... I'm not sure.
Call it foul either.
Agreed. And I'm looking at Luis Rojas at third, too. He's not really complaining that much.
Strike 3. So from what would have been a long home run, he strikes out looking. Does not like that call. And he tells Adam Beck quickly out of the dugout. And Aaron Boone just got thrown out because he got out of the dugout in a hurry to protect Judge. And he's been complaining the entire game about Beck's strike zone.
Yeah, I think he's still mad about the home run call, too. That was foul.
0 for 2, leading it off against Max Fried. And that changeup paints the outside corner with the knees.
John Schneider just got thrown out of the ball game, and this has been going on for a few innings now. Kevin Gausman was thrown out as he was taken out of the game by Chris Conroy.
Yeah, you're right. Most of this has to do with Gausman.
Yeah. Frustrating day for Gausman and John Schneider. But after that ball was called on Vladdy, Schneider couldn't keep it inside anymore.
So John Schneider will take the rest of the first game off, but remember, this is a doubleheader. DeMarlo Hale will, I presume it'll be DeMarlo Hale, will assume the managerial role for the rest of the afternoon. That started so well for Kevin Gausman ends much earlier than he would have liked, and as you can see, with a lot of frustration. He had some words for the home plate umpire Chris Conroy on his way down
to the Blue Jays' third base dugout. The first 2 innings, he sailed through them, really. And then the third inning, his command was not as good, obviously, as it was in the first 2. And he took issue with a number of pitch calls. So Gausman is out after 2 2/3. Change up right on the outside corner. Another strikeout for Giolito. And why is John Schneider out of the dugout?
Well, I'm sure there's been some chirping coming from that dugout. I wonder if Mr. Popkins has been shown the exit. He's walking down the dugout. Yeah,
I think you're right.
I think so too.
So the hitting coach getting ejected for not liking the strike zone that the Blue Jay batters are getting, and there it is as Derek Thomas throws David Popkins out of the game.
Strike call. That's a good pitch. And hearing it from the dugout is Adrian Johnson. Mike Schilt has been barking at him quite a bit tonight. Fernando strikes out. 2 down in the inning, and Fernando's going to say some stuff and get tossed. Adrian Johnson sends him out. Mike Schilt's not far behind him as he's coming out. And now Mike Schilt's going to throw his stuff, and he is really going to let him have it.
Oh, I'm not a lip reader, but classic example of Mike Schilt. We know what he's all about, sticking up for his players.
So Fernando gets ejected. Mike Schilt was ejected.
Two one is there. It's a strike. Somebody downstairs just said that ball's out. And Adrian Johnson. Oh boy. Here we go. 3 straight hitters. That is now the second most famous hat toss in this city to Mary Tyler Moore.
3-2. Struck him out looking, and Reynolds didn't think so. Leadoff double. Canario stranded. Still 2-1 Atlanta. 2-1, and there goes Brian Reynolds. He got tossed by the home plate umpire Clint Vondrak. As Vondrak, he was arguing with Vondrak, but then he is barking at the crew chief Dan Bellino, and he gives him the ejection, and Mike Rebello goes over to find out what's going on. So the crew chief had enough.
Well, a couple close calls for strike 3s on Brian Reynolds today, and 2 line drive outs. He's obviously frustrated.
And barking from the Pirate bench. So he's not going to listen to it anymore.
Go ahead, Donnie.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Here comes Donnie. Somebody just got tossed. How about Don Kelly? Well, we're going to search the record books. The last time a manager got tossed in his second big league game, and he's going to let Clint Vondrak have it. I think it's possible that somebody else got tossed initially. Maybe it might have been Rebello. We'll have to find out, but there's no way you wouldn't think that Kelly's not tossed, and the fans love it.
I love it, Greg.